Embrace the dark sensation. Rise from the ashes. Run by, embrace the pain. Despise through the carnage. Run rise, conquer fear, no compromise. Rise against, stand as one. Bask in the pain, second to none. Destruction.
It's Thursday, and you know what that means. Welcome to Max Wrestling episode 499. We are 1 week away from our 500th episode. This is your captain speaking with the one and only El Jefe, Moses Marquez, here to discuss every single twist and swerve in pro wrestling.
I'm going to do that one all the time now. Coming up tonight, we look back at AEW's absolute violent night in Chicago. WWE prepares for a switch up of their program, and boy, howdy, am I ready for it. Plus, before the World Title Clash with his captain next week, we hear from Beer, and boy almighty, am I excited to hear what the man's got to say. So make sure you subscribe right here on the YouTubes, Max Wrestling YouTubes. Follow us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is you get your podcast, and head on over to the beautifully done website, maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com, for all your links and a whole bunch more. I'm telling you, don't go check out the title history. I'm telling you.
Oh, the War and Peace, that is the predictions title history.
Hey.
I'm not sure what number we're on champions-wise, but it's a lot. The list is... It's a few scrolls worth.
People say the 24/7 title was crap, but I tell you, this thing people give a shit about.
It pretty much is our frickin' 24/7 title.
Yeah, but it matters, though. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and I don't know whether or not we're putting it on the line this week. We're going to be predicting TNA, but it's a pay-per-view, but it's not a pay-per-view. If that makes sense. So
it makes sense to the wrestling community.
Yeah, because like, it's Victory Road, but if you look at the pay-per-view like chronology, it goes from Slammiversary to Bound for Glory. But we also just had Emergence, so I don't know how TNA works. Shit,
Big
really,
words.
I don't. But anyway. Let's get into the fun stuff, because some people think a dragon sleeper is a very tired Targaryen. And as such, this is shit Mark say.
Don't pet it.
I'm going to tweet me and my friend Mark. We're going to stop watching.
You're a whiny bitch.
I'm pretty sure we featured this guy last week, or we featured a wrestler last week in shit Mark say. And we got another one this week. I'm pretty sure this is going to come up again on the Bell End board too, but unsurprisingly, Kevin Nash went off this week because he's always complaining about somebody. Kevin Nash went off on Logan Paul. Now, I know not everybody is a fan of Logan Paul, but I'm pretty sure nobody can deny the guy is annoyingly fucking good at wrestling.
Yeah. For no good goddamn reason, as we say.
This is also pretty hypocritical of Big Kev, but he said, that motherfucker, from what I heard, he's making like $5 million for fucking Limited, and those other motherfuckers are out there making house shows. Fuck you. That's from the boys. I don't give a fuck how many people are following you. If it said you had 24 fucking million Road Scholars following you, motherfucker, man, I would be like, dude, you are fucking Jesus. You got a bunch of fucking idiots. So a lot of fucks in there.
Well, yeah.
Kevin Nash is the last person that should be trolling somebody for being over fucking paid.
Well, not only that, but for working part-time. Like, come on, dude. Relax. And then
Logan,
let's emphasize really quick. How many celebrities did you kind of like nudge to Eric Bischoff and the WCW execs to hire when WCW was failing?
who's that? Pamela Anderson escorting him to the ring?
Hey, come on now. You really think she cost a little bit of money? No, sir. No.
She was in her prime, too.
Yes, thank you.
That was prime Pam.
Prime Baywatch.
That was the Pam that Borat really wanted to marry.
Hey.
And kidnap, but that's a different story. Love
that movie.
Logan Paul's response was great.
Absolutely.
Again, some people don't like him, but I thought his response was brilliant. He claims to actually not know who Kevin Nash is. I'm sure he does.
Love it.
He said Kevin Nash is just one of the old guys that are bitter because he can do this better than they ever could. And what else did he say? Oh yeah, and then he followed up with another tweet about The Rock and the PWI that he was pissed off that he's ranked below a part-timer. People went nuts about this, saying he's a part-timer too. That's the joke, people.
That's hello.
That it's called comedy.
Right over there.
It's called sarcasm.
So people don't get sarcasm. And
Leonard Hofstadter with a sarcasm sign.
Right? Like seriously, come on. We hit the nail on the head. It's extremely hypocritical for Kevin Nash to be talking shit about somebody with a part-time schedule making overly too much money. I don't have no idea how much money he made in TNA, but I'm sure it wasn't a little bit. I know he made an abundance amount of money in fucking WCW, and 90% of that shit was off of appearances. So, and then here's another thing that I'm sure he's not going to bring into context. I'm almost positive that WWE bought stake in Prime.
Probably.
If not that, like the podcast, because he's always having the fucking wrestlers on that shit. He's slowly becoming like the fucking. He's like another Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he's the link between WWE and obviously the YouTube generation.
Yeah, and then I guess fucking Pat would be more of a. I don't know. He would still be the same. I guess a similar branch, just not as sports based. So he's still bringing in guys, from the football whatever side, all the hardcore sports fans. And then we got Logan Paul bringing in every goddamn kid off of YouTube, which, hey, that's not a negative.
And other YouTubers that I've never heard of. Fucking, what is it? iShow Speed.
Oh, I know. Oh, God. I only know that guy because of FIFA. And because apparently KSI and some other guys in England put together a yearly charity football game.
Yeah.
And apparently all this iShow Speed does is play FIFA and wrongly pronounce everybody's name from where they are from, the whole whatever, unless it's a massive star. And then he had no idea how to play football. He couldn't dribble. He could barely run. He couldn't cook to save his life. He had like 3 shots in this charity game 2 years ago and missed all 3 of them. Oh, no. Missed 1 wide, and then KSI saved 2. So, I mean...
See, I don't do FIFA. I'm really good against the computer, but I get creamed against humans.
Yep, not doing it.
And I'm like, how the fuck are you getting around me and shit? But anyway, Aspear, he so subject again.
Kettle of fish.
On to the next one. Lifesaver Stuff Doer says.
Yeah.
Life liver Stuff Doer. Sorry, not saver. He ain't saved nobody's life.
Okay. Thank
says, watching ECW throughout my whole childhood and seeing how fucking stupid AEW looks. GIF trash. Now hold on a minute.
Huh?
So you watched ECW throughout your whole childhood. Wrestle Cringe responded with a perfect comeback to sum up how stupid this tweet is.
Love this.
I was watching some 1994 ECW the other day, and the main storyline was that Tommy Cairo was sleeping with Sandman's wife. But Sandman didn't care. He was mad that Cairo owed him $25 for every fuck. And yet, AEW is stupid in comparison. When Hangman burned Swerve's childhood home down after he brand new reacquired it.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys have been in a blood feud for like a year. But that's stupid in comparison to that ECW storyline, which you watched throughout your whole childhood through rose-colored glasses, clearly. I think we give Heyman a little too much credit sometimes.
Oh, God.
I mean, hey, I love ECW, but let's not pretend it was creative genius.
No, I mean, that's where the reality of it flips, and everybody wants to compare ECW to everything hardcore they ever seen. Oh, it's just like ECW. No, dude. No, it's fucking not. There's it was absolutely a lot more hardcore wrestling, but the stories behind it sometimes were just ridiculous. Just
Let's
utterly ridiculous.
if we can, I guess this is a hard pill to swallow, but ECW was basically basement wrestling on cable.
Yeah.
If we're being truthful.
Backyard wrestling in arenas.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fucking nice. I mean, like, that's $25 to bang your lady. Like, come on, bro. That's it. That shit don't fly in 2024.
Oh, do we got anything else? I'm not sure. I can take much more.
That's for real. After that one, oh my god.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do got one.
Oh, here we go.
Hang on. I'm not actually sure who he's talking about.
Uh-oh. That's never a good sign.
I think it's about Liv Morgan. Doug Kraft wearing what appears to be a Monty Python's Holy Grail outfit.
Oh.
Well, somebody said getting triggered over a card game says otherwise. And then Doug replied, I'm not triggered over a card game. I'm pissed that Triple H is still allowing that whore, starred, censored, to be women's world champion when she never did anything to earn it. No, you sound very triggered.
Goodness gracious.
You do know Liv's like playing a character, right? She's not really sleeping with Dom or anything.
Oh, they're getting it in. But talk about extend your disbelief. Jesus Christ. The guy's married. And I'm pretty sure she's I don't think she's
recently
married,
separated.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, if anything, she's the single one, but it's like Dom's married, bro, and and I'm almost positive that his wife watches the show on a regular. He's made a comment on Logan Paul's fucking podcast, but to just go out, and again, this is the crazy shit about the fucking interwebs and how social media is. You can just say whatever the fucking you want. I get not liking the character, okay? She's a bad guy, and she's doing her job well. She's the heel, as we call it in the business. But you don't have to go calling her names off of nothing. Like, it's what the storyline is. It works out.
Why do we got to call all female wrestlers that we don't like whores?
You know what? You could just, all you had to do is change that one word to like home wrecker, and I would have giggled. And then that wouldn't even be on the show right now. That's it. But
I may even have taken that as sarcasm.
You see?
But there's no sarcasm in whore.
No, that's just and exactly that. You are triggered. That's how you started. There's no way I'm triggered. But then you go into why you're triggered. It's giving hopeless feelings. You know what I'm saying?
There definitely wasn't any sarcasm when CM Punk yelled it at a stripper.
Hey,
during a match. Was that in ECW actually? No. It was like, I think it was like CZW. It was something hardcore anyway because he was
probably CCW.
He was fighting Raven in a strip club.
Oh, it's definitely CCW. Definitely.
Yeah, that was way before, like way after classic ECW. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I don't think I can take much more. Oh, wait. I just seen one about Swerve.
Don't do it. But all right.
Ooh, okay. Touchy subject, but Drainmaker, who I think has been on the show a couple of times with these tweets.
Sounds familiar.
Oh, he just posted about Swerve taking the chair shot. May have been a way to write him off for a little bit.
It is.
And Peter Rankin said, actually, he's calling Drainmaker out saying, but didn't you say it was a gimmicked chair, so AEW is going to do an injury angle because somebody got injured by a gimmicked chair shot? Wow, only in AEW. No, that's how writing somebody off TV works with gimmick dangles.
They work an angle, which that's what the word gimmicked is. It means worked, or it's modified, whatever have you. But yeah, that's how it goes. They had a gruesome, lights out, hardcore match. He got a fucking syringe in the mouth, bruv, and then got what we called the fucking goddamn kablamo right
Oh,
through
yeah.
the schnoggin,
And
which I almost overglossed, by the way, in the fucking TSK review. But I just, because I wanted to get it out of my mind, because it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. But
beautifully disgusting.
But the guy's 100% correct. It wrote him off TV. He's gonna go do I think he's gonna go do a movie.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
But man, we will get into All Out later on. Now I definitely can't take it anymore. They are marks, and that's just shit they say.
you guys suck.
So before we get into AEW and All Out, a lot of stuff is going on in WWE. Obviously, they're moving to Netflix in 2025, but they're shifting a few things around right now. SmackDown's deal with Fox is over. SmackDown is moving to USA. None of this affects the UK. We're getting everything on Netflix, but they're moving networks and everything over there. So SmackDown is going to USA Network, which is where Raw is currently. The season premiere will be 3 hours. Hopefully that's just for the premiere because Raw is finally going back to 2 hours now.
Hey.
Jesus. God almighty,
Right.
it took you 15 fucking years.
Right?
Um,
Just give me like a 5-minute overrun, 10-minute overrun. That's it.
yeah, that's fine. Overrun is fine. Like, Dynamite is just the right length every week, even with the overrun. SmackDown feels a little fast sometimes, but I think that's just because they have so much. They have like 2 long segments and then like 3 matches every week, so it feels short.
I think you're spot
But
on.
for some reason, with that extra hour on Raw, they cram so much shit in. It feels so long.
I don't know what it is, but no, you're not wrong. It's a lot of filler, a whole bunch of backstage bullshit for no fucking reason. You know, the people won't stop talking. The constant ad fucking placement.
And as for NXT, they are going to CW, and they are stacking the shit out of their card for the debut. Which is first? Is it St. Louis or Chicago?
I want to say Chicago.
Yeah, I think it is. But either way, they got Punk for Chicago, Randy for St. Louis. So they're obviously bringing in the hometown big boys for NXT. I mean, I hope this goes better for NXT than it did when they originally went to cable, because obviously originally they were on the WWE network, and then they moved to Combat Dynamite and did shit. But
we don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about the Wednesday Night War. With all due respect, I don't think there's that much of a war between NXT and AEW anymore. Like,
no,
AEW's audience has dropped. Not many people give a shit about the war between them. So, they're also on different nights. So, we can enjoy both now.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And you could tell that change was coming. You know, I mean, they obviously knew that they were going to lose. They saw that they were losing in the ratings, so they figured it'd be best to change the day. But I think we've gotten to the different era of where Vince McMahon always thought everything was a competition. Maybe it is. Maybe it should be. But I can kind of feel like Triple H is just like, why can't we just have different wrestling? Like, what's so wrong with that? Like, what's so wrong with having, like, the WWE style and then the AEW style and then the TNA style and then what's so wrong with having the different styles?
I think Triple H is so happy that he's finally able to take that 3rd hour of Raw away, because he's openly said it's very difficult to write a 3-hour show every week.
Well, yeah. It's 3 hours worth of shit, and then that's the whole thing. Like, are you going to have that same amount of material next week, and then the next week, and then done? You see what I mean? Like, every now and again, sure, a 3-hour show. I'm sure I could fill the hell out of a 3-hour show once, maybe once every other month. But,
yeah, like we go just over an hour and a half every week, but then when we've got an event, it comes over 2 hours most of the time. Sometimes it comes close to 3 hours, and that's like once a month.
We've had a couple of those. Sorry.
I think the longest is bang on 3 hours. And that was a Promo Mania, though, so,
hey,
the
big show.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for all the change, even though it doesn't mean anything to me. I still watch it in the same place. Sometimes.
Well, I'm excited for the overall move to Netflix. For one, the simplicity, and then 2, what's it gonna bring different? You know what I mean? Like, we're already getting more wrestling, and I want to say a lot better promos, little bit closer, a little bit more on the language barrier-ish. We're getting edgier. How much more are we going to get when we get into Netflix? And then is that going to be part of the attraction to WWE again? Hey, you like that AEW style? Well, you can get it here, but WWE branded or whatever. You like, the better cereal, I guess, whatever the fuck. Is that going to be a thing, or is it they're going to remain WWE doing WWE things, just maybe more, as I've said before, DX comedy or DX edgier? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, I'm also really excited for Netflix, mainly because I get to save money. Because we already got Netflix, and I can finally, after, wow, what is it, 9 years, stop paying for I did stop for a little bit, but stop paying for the WWE Network.
Hooray.
Because obviously we're getting all the pay-per-views too. Sorry, PLEs.
PLEs.
Fuck them. But even though all these changes are coming now for Smackdown and NXT, we don't get Raw on Netflix until January, so we still got a little bit to go.
Few months, we'll make it.
We'll make it. We've held on for like 10 years. We can hold on a little bit more.
Right? It's like, it's bearable enough. We can make it now, and then we're going to, again, it's for those who are like dying for the edgier product, you can do this. We believe in you.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. I tried to be a nice guy. I tried to play by your rules. You all turned your backs on me.
Oh, Cap. You won our match at Max 500 to be under Captain's rules. I gladly accept that challenge because I'm always up for a challenge, and I will make sure that I will leave Max 500 as the World Heavyweight Champion. 8 months of the lies, hiding behind a mask with all your smoke and mirrors. And we all know that you've ashamed your own brand. Now, you mentioned I was gone for 7 years. Yeah, I was gone for 7 years, but I've come back. Have I noticed that Max has gone a lot more popular? Yes, I did want to be part of the Dragon Club until I saw all the lies, all the bullshit, and you think that you're the victim in all this. So you want to play Captain's rules? Fine. But I want something in return. It's not going to be at Wembley Stadium. It started in here, and it's going to end in here. Cap, you, me, Max 500 in my house. And I hope and I pray that you got the balls to accept. Or do you have to get permission from your club first? And don't worry, you may have the Phoenix, you may have the lawyer, but there's always a trick or two up my sleeve. And in the words of Triple H, there's always a plan B. I will see you here next week. If you have the balls to show up.
Bruised and battered like ships in the storm, but we kept pushing through cold and warm, breaking down walls again and again. We made it. Oh, can't you see through the blood and the tears we found? rising like giants with hearts full of fire, climbing that mountain higher and higher.
Welcome back to the Cap and Mo Show. This is your captain speaking. He is El Jefe. Speak his name and he appears. Make sure you are liking and subscribed on YouTube. Follow us everywhere. And for all that information that you need, go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com. Buy the merch. Google Max Wrestling Marketplace on T-Shirt Studio.
T-Shirt Studio, go check it out. Go get you a merch. Still to come, we take a look at All Out. But before we get into all that fun stuff, we take a look at TNA and NXT. But we're going to kick it off with Victory Road predictions tomorrow night. 3, 2, 1.
Impact in 3, 2, 1.
So this is unofficial predictions because obviously this is only taking place tomorrow night, so it's not really much time for everybody to get good with the predictions. But anyway, we're going to predict it anyway. TNA Victory Road is tomorrow night, which is a pay-per-view, but it's not a pay-per-view.
Hey.
But all but one match is a title match, so it's a pretty big show. It features, I think, 2 rematches from Emergence. But we'll kick it off with the new X Division champion, Zachary Wentz, defending against the former X Division champion, Mike Bailey. Obviously, Zachary Wentz won it in the Ultimate X match at Emergence.
Yeah, I've seen the ending of that one, so good on him. Hoping he hangs on to it. But again, Mike Bailey has that that fan momentum right now in TNA. He's got the fan push.
Yeah. I mean, I don't expect Wentz to drop the title straight back to him now.
No.
Especially when obviously we've got the incorporation of the Rascals in NXT too.
That's true. This is correct. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it I'm gonna stick with you. I'm gonna keep it this way. It feels like the right move. You know what I mean? There's no way you want to give it up that quickly. So Zachary Wentz retains. Sorry, Mike Bailey. Maybe you should go to NXT.
Hey. All right. We also got the Militia defending the Knockouts tag team titles against Spitfire. But if Spitfire lose, they have to disband.
Oh.
Which, oh man, that's kind of tough because I don't think they've been together really that long. Maybe a year tops.
I was just gonna ask you how long they've been together because I barely remember them getting together. Again, this shows you how well we follow TNA.
Yeah. I mostly follow it through recaps, but let me take a look how long they've actually been tag team champions, because I don't think that's been long either.
Well, I also want to go off of just the smart knowledge, if you will, of the fact that this is one of those like half a pay-per-views that we keep calling it, a pay-per-view that's not a pay-per-view. So I don't think you would want a team to break up, but maybe you'd want a classic, happy moment. So
yeah.
Who Spitfires? Whom again?
Danny Luna and Jody Threat. So the Militia.
Right the Jody Threat part.
The Militia beat them for the titles back in May at Under Siege.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, Spitfire only had the titles for a month. Just over a month. So, give me Spitfire.
Right?
Get them titles back.
I'm saying, go with the title change. And then apparently if they're not going to hang for so long, then that's cool. I mean, they're going to end up doing another pay-per-view next month anyway.
Well, yeah, Bound for Glory is coming up. Obviously the big one, which is a pay-per-view. And that will be official predictions. I mean, I'm going to post these in the group anyway, just for fun, but I'm just going to say it's like a non-title match.
There it is.
Which reminds me, I still haven't announced who won the predictions with All Out, just because I've only just a couple of days ago caught up with it. So I will post after the show.
See what happens when you have real life outside of wrestling.
Yeah, see what happens when you get 2 pay-per-views within 2 weeks.
Oi.
Yeah. So I'm going Spitfire to retain. You're going Spitfire to regain. Sorry, you're going Spitfire to
Regain, there it
regain
is,
2.
yeah.
Right. Okay, this is a rematch. We got ABC defending the tag team titles against The System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers.
Hmm.
All
right.
It took so long to get the gold off The System. I can't see myself believing that they're going to get anything back so soon.
And then didn't ABC just win him like a month ago?
Literally, yeah. Yeah. They all lost their gold on the same night.
Yeah, that's
They lost
right.
the tag titles. Moose lost the world title. So I don't really see any title changes apart from the knockouts tag team.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
was
give
just
me
thinking
ABC
the
to
same
retain.
exact thing. I'm just like, I hate saying that this is a very predictable show,
But
but I just
again,
don't.
it's a pay-per-view, but not a pay-per-view.
Exactly. That's, you know what I mean?
It's what is it called now? It's not Impact Plus, whatever it is now. It's one of those specials.
Yeah, I forget what the fuck they're called now.
Is it like just like TNA Plus? I don't know. You see, we graze over TNA.
And that's our bad. We need to not. But
It's also Anthem's bad because I guarantee you, if Scott D'Amore was still there pulling the strings, I'd just pay much more attention to it.
yeah, you shouldn't have got rid of him. And again, we need access to access. Damn it.
Also, if NXT were doing a better job with their end of the deal and promoting TNA instead of just borrowing their stars, then
We've talked about this.
yes. Speaking of NXT borrowing their stars, Joe Hendry is facing Josh Alexander. It's a tough one with Joe Hendry because he doesn't seem to win the big matches, but he does get surprise wins here and there.
But is this a big match? Because I mean, I'm not saying it's just Josh Alexander, but Josh Alexander, I mean, he is like a main eventer. But at this point, they've been building the shit out of Joe Hendry on both fucking shows. So I really don't see him like. I think, as you said perfectly, he loses the big matches, but he seems to maintain momentum. And I feel like this is one of those ones where he's going to be able to maintain momentum, no problem. And it's unfortunately at the mercy of Josh Alexander, poor gentleman. He's the one that needs to get out. If there's anybody who should be heading into NXT right now, it's fucking Josh Alexander.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Again, another guy. I don't understand why you're not showing up over there. Hammerstone did, for fuck's sake. Why can't
yeah. But I mean, if any rumors are to be believed, Josh Alexander may be on his way there permanently anyway.
Hooray.
I'm not sure when his contract expires, but obviously he had an extension slapped on him by Anthem. So,
yeah, they did.
I don't think there's much left on it. Jeez. So, like we just said, TNA send their stars to NXT. NXT send their Jahoobs over to TNA. Sorry, Wendy. But Wendy Chu is challenging Jordan Grace for the Knockouts title. Foregone conclusion.
Sorry.
For fucking gone.
Like, that's one of those ones where it was like, oh, hey, good for her. But you already know she's not going to win. So, Jordan Grace is going to keep it. I think it's going to end up being one of these things where, like, when certain people lose the big match, they're going to permanently be on NXT or whatever. And I definitely think that's going to happen with Jordan Grace. Whenever she finally loses this knockout championship, she'll be in WWE.
Yeah, and she may even like skip NXT because
that's why I said WWE. Uh-oh.
Fucking trying to do a world-class podcast. She's already been exposed to the mainstream audience through the Rumble. She's already made a few appearances in NXT, so I don't really think there's any reason for her to go to NXT when she does eventually sign with WWE. So she'll jump straight to the main.
WWE.
And then main events, rematch. Well, technically a rematch from Emergence, but they have fought one-on-one before, but Moose retained those times. The point of this match is Nick Nemeth has never beat Moose one-on-one. He won the world title in a multi-person match at Emergence. So Nick Nemeth defending the world title against Moose 1-on-1.
It's Nick's time to shine.
Yeah, again, he only won it a couple of weeks ago.
This is one of those ones where you remember they brought him in. Excuse me. They brought him in. Goodness gracious, every week this so far. They brought him in. He had all this momentum. He goes to Japan, garners even more momentum, but also loses it at the same time because he's not on TNA or Impact at the time. And now he's here. He's world champion, and you have to build it. You have to retread the tires, add the mileage, whatever. You got to put some wear and tear on it. And this is a massive win if he then beats Moose. I think he should. So I'll go with that pick. Because, again, Moose is the big dog. He is the Bobby Lashley, if you will, of TNA right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, Nemeth to retain. I think we've pretty much stuck to our guns on this one. It's, again, not a big pay-per-view. Not really a pay-per-view. So we've. It seems quite predictable. It seems like just a special impact of a special episode of Impact that takes place on a Friday.
Pretty much.
Also, it's Friday the 13th.
Ooh, creepy.
But now let's get back into the rest of the shows. Obviously, we're not recapping Collision, Rampage, and Dynamite because we're going to be talking All Out and everything that followed later on. But we are going to recap WWE, kicking it off with Recap the Smack. Kicking off SmackDown, Cody Rhodes opened the show and openly invites the Bloodline to interrupt him. He then tries to play them against each other by claiming Jacob Fatu should be challenging him instead of Solo. As the Street Profits and DIY jump in the ring to prevent a beatdown from the Bloodline, Nick Aldis announces that Cody and Solo's rematch next week will be in a steel cage on the season premiere of SmackDown. Bayley defeated Tiffany Stratton with a rose plant. Apollo Crews defeated Giovanni Vinci in seconds with a roll-up. Kevin Owens defeated Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in a triple threat match with a stunner. However, the duo attacked Owens after the match. LA Knight came to the ring but was interrupted by Carmelo Hayes, who claims he is ahead of Andrade in line. Andrade interrupts and points out he's beaten Hayes twice. Before long, a brawl breaks out and Knight drops them both with a BFT. Chelsea Green defeated Michin with the Unpretty Her after interference from Piper Niven, and in the main event, the Bloodline defeated the Street Profits and DIY with two Samoan spikes from Solo to Montez Ford. There's no AEW recap this week because, of course, we're going to be looking back at All Out in just a few moments, but first, I'm taking one for the team because I'm going in Raw. To open Raw, the Wyatt Six defeated American Made as Chad Gable gets hit from all sides with an Iron Claw slam from Rowan, a Sister Abigail from Uncle Howdy, and a splash from Dexter Lumis. In the ring, Finn Balor and Damian Priest finally come face to face, but soon the Judgment Day beat down Priest. Liv Morgan tries to join in but gets blasted by Rhea Ripley. Liv then turns the tables going after Ripley's knee, and finally Jey Uso makes the save. Air Jade, I'm still copyrighting that, defeated the Unholy Union to retain the Women's Tag Team Championships. Bret the Hitman Hart made his return to Raw as he puts over Survivor Series in Canada before being interrupted by Gunther. Gunther calls Bret his second favourite wrestler after Goldberg. Sami Zayn interrupts and challenges Gunther to a match next week, but Gunther refuses. As Bret calls Gunther a coward, Gunther and Sami come to blows until security separate them. Backstage, Braun Breaker and Pete Dunne exchange words before Sheamus attacks Dunne. Dominic Mysterio defeated Dragon Lee thanks to Liv Morgan. Pure Fusion Collective, worst name in wrestling, defeated Lyra Valkyria, Zelina Vega and Natalya, surprise, with 3 stereo sharpshooters. Drew McIntyre brags about his attack on CM Punk and claims he ended his career, but Adam Pearce interrupts and announces the feud will end at Bad Blood in Hell in a Cell. Rey Mysterio defeated Finn Balor by disqualification as Balor illegally uses the ropes to lock Mysterio in a single leg crab. Braun Breaker continues to run into his viable contenders before the official match, and in the main event, Jey Uso defeated Braun Strowman, Ilya Dragunov, and Pete Dunne to earn a shot at Breaker. And now, unfortunately, we have to have a round with beer for NXT.
What's good, people? This is Beer. This is your NXT review for the 10th of September. Unfortunately, I'm a bit bedbound at the moment. I really don't feel too good. Alright, let's get into NXT this week. So we kick off with the tag match between Nathan Frazer and Axiom, defending the NXT tag team titles against the Street Profits. It was supposed to be the Rascals, but unfortunately Trey Miguel went down with injury. But hey, it is what it is. We will get that match down the line. It's a great match, but unfortunately it ended with the Bloodline attacking both teams, which sadly ruined a very, very good opening match. We then have a preview of the Beautiful Madness Julia showing off some of the matches from Stardom and Marigold. And speaking of, we have the in-ring debut of Julia going up against Chelsea Green, and she looked fantastic. You couldn't ask for a better opening opponent than Chelsea Green. And we even had the Julia's Gonna Kill You chant, which is literally might have been a tribute to Asuka. It was a very fun match, to be fair. Chelsea did get a lot of offense in the match. It was a great ending with the G-Trigger and Northern Light Bomb. Gives the Beautiful Madness the 1, 2, 3. Roxanne Perez, you're on borrowed time, sweetheart. Next up, we have the Heritage Cup on the line with Javon Evans facing Charlie Dempsey. Never a dull match with the young OG involved. And Charlie Dempsey was very impressive in this match. A banger match. Until the returning Tavian Heights cost Javon Evans a match. After spelling Noah, which Tavian really impressed, Dempsey wins by 2 falls to 1. Next up, we have a creepy segment involving Rosemary and Wendy Chu firing a warning to Titan Paxton and Lyra Valkyria. Is very creepy. And then we also then have another segment there involving Lyra Valkyria and Titan Paxley talking about the tag match that they've got next week. Then have All Ego Ethan Page with an interview with Sarah Schreiber, boasts again about his NXT Championship run. And AEW fumbled this guy big time. And the character guy's great. Great promos, great character, and I'm absolutely loving it. So Ethan Page is going to be not the only time we see Ethan Page this evening. Next up, we have Oba Femi facing an opponent selected by Tony D'Angelo. We have a surprise appearance from Hammerstone from TNA. This dude is huge, as well as the ruler Oba Femi is. A great showing by Hammerstone, but Oba picks up the win with a pop-up powerbomb. Hopefully we'll see more of Hammerstone in the future. I'm sorry, I'm still very, very unwell tonight. Alright, next up we have the match, but I look forward to a lot, with Rich Holland against Duke Hudson from Chase U. After Rich taking out Andre Chase at No Mercy, Rich continues his destruction by beating Duke with the Redeemer and batters Duke with ease after the match. Also, he took out Riley Osborne. Unfortunately, he did not, thankfully, not lay a hand on Thea Hale. Next up, we have Jordan Grace defending the Knockouts title in an open challenge, but before she came out, we had the face-off between her and Julia backstage. The person stepped up to the Juggernaut was Sol Ruka, and this was a banger match. Unfortunately, it ended in a disqualification, with Rosemary and Wendy Chu attacking the Juggernaut. So it leads to a match at Victory Road on Friday. It is going to be Jordan Grace defending the Knockouts title against Wendy Chu. Main event, barn burner main event between Trick Williams and Pete Dunne in a brutal last man standing match. Insane Russian leg sweep on the top of the stage through the table, and Trick picks up the win. Trick is now the #1 contender and will face Ethan Page in the CW launch in Chicago on the 1st of October. And as the show came to a close, we had Stevie Turner, Robert Stone, and Ava in her office. And Ava was on the phone, and it was on the phone to CM Punk. CM Punk will be on NXT next week. And what has the Punker got in and planned? And also, we had, before the match between Trick Williams and Pete Dunne, Wes Lee got onto took the headset off Vic Joseph, which was a bit rude, but told Zachary Wentz that the match is happening. It's going to happen at the CW launch. It's going to be Zachary Wentz and Wesley in a street fight. Matches we got confirmed so far are Jillian Roxanne, Trick, Ethan Page, Zachary Wentz, and Wesley. Oh my.
And we then find out early in the day as well that we're going to get appearances from Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. CM Punk's going to be there. We also have The Miz that's going to be doing Miz TV. Don't know why about Miz TV, but hey, The Miz is a big name. But anyway, I'm ill, but I'll still do it. What time is it? I would rather me get better first. But you know what the time is. My champion, LFA. Take it away, partner.
Well, they ain't this far.
Surprise! Hi, Cap.
So, you managed to get your segments on the show a couple weeks in a row, and now you're just on the show.
How are you doing?
Well, I mean, I was better until you turned up.
Or is your ego still crushed?
Oh, my ego is fine. Absolutely
That's
fine.
fine. We'll find out next week, won't we?
My ego is fine, just like my nice shiny title.
Oh, don't worry. You know where it's coming next week.
No? Oh, actually, I might wait. Oh, no, wait. No, I have been to your house. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been to my house before. And you know how it landed up last time, but it's going to be a completely different result this time around, my man.
Oh, we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's captain's rules, so it's not looking good for you.
Captain's rules, but it's in here. Like I said, I always have an ace up my sleeve.
Well, hey, if Dynamite showed you anything, you should never invite a heel into your house.
But this one's going to be worth it when I take your precious world title from you.
We'll see.
Oh, we will.
I know how to hold on to a title for longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah? And I'm not even ashamed about it. But your 5 minutes of fame is up.
I mean, actually, we still got like an hour left, so plenty of time to be famous, my friend.
Oh, we will.
Gracious.
But the main
Attention
man.
steep. Attention steep.
Oh, Hefe, how are you doing, my champ?
Fantastic. Prepping for our tag title match next week. Got a whole lot of stuff. Looking forward to this clash.
Oh,
The
this
anticipation
thrashing
is high.
This thrashing I'm going to give this piece of shit.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah,
my goodness.
Chad.
I love
Chad.
this tension.
Chad, when you get this back, you need to look up like people forcing their way onto a show, and if there's like a law against that or something. I mean, you're the lawyer. You look it up. Flip through the contract.
Lawyer for protection. Wah, wah,
Anyway, get me
wah.
back when you hear this.
Boo hoo hoo. Can you not fight your own battles, bitch?
I don't need protection. I'm just protecting my investments. I decide who comes on this show.
You've embarrassed yourself.
I mean,
Next
last time
week, it's lights out.
Again, you know all about lights out.
If you thought Swerve and Hangman was bad, you wait.
Oh, you got a couple of needles lying around or something?
Oh my god.
Oh, you don't know. Like I said, ace or two up my sleeve.
Well, I got a bat up mine.
Of course you have. Of course you have.
If we're talking about stuff like that, then batter up, I guess.
Batter up.
Chelsea.
Ooh, that's fucking sharp, that is.
Shame didn't cut your arm off.
Hey, if I lose one, I've still got one right arm. His name's Chad Malcolm, and he's the best lawyer in the land. But you know what? Instead of wasting airtime while you're here, why don't you make yourself useful? Because we got All Out to talk about. So I am nothing if not a gracious host. I may as well give you a little bit of time to be famous and talk about AEW.
Fine. Ask me whatever you want.
Since we're talking about blood feuds, let's kick it off. Hangman and Swerve. You know what? All In was a nice, classic wrestling show. Oh, we were there, by the way.
Were.
And then All Out was just fucking all out violence. Love it. It's
Yeah,
like
we went from
within-
exactly put from a classic wrestling show to just sheer utter destruction. Guys getting pile driven from the second rope. Staple guns being used, a cinder block not breaking, but backs almost breaking, a syringe to the mouth, and a chair shot so bad Sean Spears is jealous.
Thumbtacks that nearly got Paul Chris Statlander's, where.
Oh damn! Let's let overgloss what the hardcore match that shouldn't have been as good as it was.
Thumbtacks right in the
Statlander
pussy.
Hey, talk
If
about
I may
another
be so
blood
bold.
feud.
That was brutal.
You know what?
And
I ain't even got a foo-foo, and I'm like, oof.
Yeah, it's a little sharp. You know what I'm saying?
I have seen little dweebs on Twitter all saying that AEW should be cancelled for what happened. I'm completely disagree.
Well,
What's
it makes
wrong with
no
it?
sense.
What was wrong with it?
That's the one I was looking for shit Mark say, actually.
The fact that it's as a lot of there was a I think Beer was the one that posted it to the Max site where it was a dude that went on this entire rant talking about how AEW proved at All Out that they are the alternative to WWE. That yeah, they could cut the promos and do the hoopla, the blah blah, but at the end of the day, they are more wrestling based and they are more I guess in a way I would say even more entertainment than sport entertainment, because again, look, if you're into the hardcore style, then that whole fucking pay-per-view was for you.
Yeah, and I'm not a massive deathmatch guy, which I've said multiple times, but like that was just a good level of hardcore. And that I think Moxley has said it the most. AEW strive to be like a more realistic type of wrestling. So if you think about being in a blood feud with somebody, you're gonna do stuff like that. You're gonna break shit over their head. Hint, hint, beer. But yeah, so the tweet that I saw was a very conservative looking dude with the name "I'm Getting Old." Well, you said it, pal.
Hey,
now in this
yourself
tweet he tagged Change, Warner Brothers, Save the Children. Don't know what the fuck wrestling has to do with world hunger. UN End Violence, Tony Khan, NBC News, ABC, and CNN. And the tweet is: demand termination of AEW programming due to disturbing and harmful content. Sign the petition. Link. And then, of course,
Did kids eat ECW?
and then
We grew up
screen-
ECW, WCW, and WWF. ECW was like that every week.
yeah, we talked about ECW earlier and how, as hardcore as it was, they had some ridiculous storylines.
incredibly ridiculous.
So,
Some
I'm
gentleman
still
owes
laughing at
another
the fact.
gentleman $25 for every sexual intercourse with his wife.
I'm still
Oh, my
laughing at
lord.
the fact that this dude thinks AEW being violent, or preventing AEW from being this violent is going to solve world hunger. But
That's the great. That's almost as good of a fucking hash or a good of tagging at people as that one dude almost tagging Jesus because he tagged everybody and then some.
fuck Live Aid, just cancel AEW. What?
What exactly? That'll save all the money.
Jeez Louise. These people get to vote too.
Hey, don't remind me.
Look, if
There it is.
like we said when we were talking about the ECW comparison earlier, if hardcore wrestling is not for you, don't fucking watch it.
No, yeah, you're right. And you know what? You put it beautifully, and I can segue off of that perfectly because the reality is you got more than hardcore in this entire show. Will Ospreay versus Pac was probably one of the best fucking showings of British wrestling I've seen in quite some time.
Yes.
It was sheer perfect.
I'm not really into like light tubes and shit, but I know that there's an audience for that, and that's fine. So I choose not to watch it, but I'm not trying to cancel it.
Yeah, no, that's not my job.
You know, if you want
Watch
softer
ECW
wrestling,
One Night Stand.
What was that?
They should go back and watch ECW One Night Stand, and that Mike Awesome opening match. It was one of the most
Jeez,
brutal
man.
matches.
Like awesome, the
Oh.
Fat Chick Thriller.
yeah,
And on One Night Stand 2006, two of the best ECW shows you'll ever see.
Yeah,
I think
TNA tried to do ECW tributes after that too, because it kind of became like a trend to do ECW themed shows after One Night Stand, but they were never the same. That original One Night Stand was just mwah.
Same.
Yep. Chef's kiss, baby.
Sandman's entrance is always going to be the cream of the crap.
Yeah, and fuck the pay-per-view people for redubbing Enter Sandman, because you can't have Sandman's entrance without fucking Metallica.
Yep.
But yeah, if Swerve getting injected with a syringe in the mouth, or Brian getting choked out with a plastic bag isn't for you, then just stick to your fucking PG show. And that's not a dig at WWE, that's their core audience. But
There was murder.
it,
Brian is dead.
I absolutely immediately found it hilarious that they tried to murder Brian Danielson with a plastic bag.
My wife's like,
Fucking genius.
She's like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "Because this is way off on topic. Like, how the hell did we get here?" I've heard of beatdowns, you know what I mean? But they were like, "Let's fucking kill this guy."
The only thing worse that Mox could have done was shove a steak in his mouth beforehand.
Yes, just here you go, you fucking vegan bastard. And then here's the fun thing:
Fuck the
we always
planet.
bring this up every single week. Renee's in the back. How is she not reacting to her husband trying to kill a man?
Renee, we know you're married to Mox. Acknowledge it, for fuck's sake.
Seriously.
It's just, it takes you out of, suspend your disbelief and everything, but we know that they're married. And
There's
I'm pretty
murder
sure
at
they
work.
have acknowledged it on TV before. Your husband's running around trying to murder people, and you're just like, "Hey, Orange, how you doing?"
You're all smiling.
Come on, Renee. Or are you secretly a cold-hearted bastard too?
She's got fucking somebody locked up in the trunk right now.
Ooh, just received some big news.
Uh-oh.
This is off topic. The Motor City Machine Guns are reportedly heading to the WWE with their TV debut coming upon the CW premiere on October the 1st.
Hey.
Like we were just saying, they're stacking those cards for all these switch-arounds on the networks. I've loved the Guns since the very first time I saw them. One of my favorite my favorite Ultimate X match ever is the Machine Guns versus Gen Me. And the old schoolers there will know that that's the Young Bucks in TNA. Very long time ago. I'm a little bit worried about how many casuals will know who the Motor City Machine Guns are. Obviously, if you were watching a little bit of TNA back in the day, you'll know who they are. But like
Watch any New Japan, you'll know who they are.
Oh yeah, but like anybody who's only watched Raw and SmackDown or whatever, they probably won't be that aware of them. But hopefully they come in with a bang, no pun intended, and show everybody who they are.
I hope so. I think it will work out great for them.
Here's your semi-annual reminder that Chris Sabin was once a world champion for a week in TNA. Sorry.
That's our next business.
And it was the worst title reign ever.
Hey, he got one. Okay, I didn't get
Mike Larkin just popped at that reference.
Sure. Mike, I love this.
Why am I laughing at one of your jokes? I should not be laughing at your jokes.
Because I'm funny.
No, you're not.
I'm the funny guy. What do you fucking mean funny? I'm funny like a clown. I make you laugh. I amuse you.
No, you are a clown.
That's why.
Well, yeah, I'm one of my alter egos is a jester, to be fair. So, what else happened at All Out? Oh, fucking Wheeler Yuta. Poor little puppy.
Wheeler.
Poor little puppy.
They got really good.
The hold back, the boo-hooing. Oh, it was
That
great.
was such a sad face.
And then he wasn't even on Dynamite.
No, he's traumatized.
As he should be. So that was a good little thing. Credit due to Jack Perry, by the way, because I've said this a bazillion times before. If you really want to get better at this job, go to Japan, and you can tell his fucking 7-8 months there has done nothing but fucking sheer wonders for the kid. since he's come back. So it's, that was a great match overall. He deserves a lot of credit for it, even though he's a piece of crap. MJF's written off TV. He's the one that's going to go do a movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
And I think he's also still not fully recovered from his injuries.
He had like a broken hip and all kinds of other shit. So,
but yeah, I mean, I've trolled Jack Perry. Obviously I'm unapologetic, big CM Punk guy. I've talked shit about All In and everything, but so much respect to Jack for how he's responded to everything, because like you say, he took that time off, went to Japan, and he's come back, and it's kind of, he's learned how to brush it off.
yep.
So you can, like we did in London, you can chant CM Punk at him and Cry Me a River, and he'll just smile and shrug it off, which is exactly what he needs to do. Don't rise to it. It's kind of made him a little bit more relevant, but he's used it to create this new persona where he don't give a shit about what anybody thinks or anybody says.
And it's working perfectly for him.
Yes. So respect to Jack Perry. I wouldn't be surprised if he probably hasn't watched it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Punk's watched it and thought, "Good for you, kid." But I still choked you out.
Goodness gracious.
bastard.
But yeah, Dynamite last night was, I think, the perfect follow-up to All Out, mainly because we're still left with a lot of questions, but they did give us a little bit more into the whole John Moxley murder group thing that he's now part of.
Yeah, whatever.
I never thought I'd say this, but I am liking Marina Shafir more and more each week. I think it helps that she's not speaking.
I was gonna say, do you have any idea what what intimidation does for somebody's persona? The lack of speaking, the what is it? The being able to show the best part of you, and the best part of you is when you don't speak. You're good looking, you're intimidating in stature, and you could beat up dudes. So that's cool. You beat up a couple dudes, whatever, every now and again. And you stand there looking extra mean next to fucking Mox, giving the China vibe. So, I mean, I love it. I think it's working perfect for her. I think she needs a couple squash matches in her book, but finally gaining momentum. And Mox has praised her for fucking years, so I'm glad that they finally get an opportunity to work together.
Yeah. Hopefully he's been helping her out a lot behind the scenes and helping her improve, and pairing her with somebody like him is the perfect move, because Mox is so well respected, so fucking good at what he does.
It's beyond well-rounded, too.
I mean, being married to Roddy hasn't really done anything for her talent, so if anybody can help her, it's Mox.
Right? If Roddy can't help you, Mox better be able to.
I mean, actually, and they've they've trioed her up with Mox and Claudio Castagnoli. So if you don't learn anything now, Jesus.
See, you're right. Like you were with the perfect group to relearn everything.
Yeah.
Don't forget Pac.
I'm
that's right. Yeah.
Fuck me. You're in amazing company.
Yeah, douche.
3 of the best wrestlers going.
That's true. Pac is one of the top still, regardless of his injury history or not. He's still one of the best out there.
Yeah, and if this does end up being a Shane O'Mac group, I think I'm here for it, depending on how he approaches his gimmick. Like the Raw Underground shtick, it sounded good on paper, but the execution was pretty poor.
It was poor, but it had its moments where it looked cool.
Yeah, but Shane, he can lead a heel faction. We've seen it with the corporate ministry. He was so good as the leader of the corporate ministry. Such a hateable little prick.
I think it would be mind-blowing if it ends up being Shane McMahon behind all this shit.
Yeah. But then, how does that work with the Elite? Because obviously they're the heels. And Mox's group doesn't seem to... the corporate Elite. Oh.
I mean, honestly, I could just kind of see it right now, where it's like, let's play the fantasy booking land real quick. If it turns out that it is Shane O'Mac, and like say he comes in at Grand Slam at Madison Square Garden of all or Arthur Ashe, at Arthur Ashe Stadium, and they do this whole thing. Shane McMahon is the leader behind him. It's as Pac said, on Dynamite. This is our company now. Just real quickly, whatever. Just throwing out there. This is our company now. All nonchalant. Shane ends up being the dude, and then I'm sure at some point that's when we're like the EVPs are going to kind of get involved, and then before you know, we're going to see them shaking hands, and then there it is, the corporate elite.
I mean,
combat.
Hey,
I'm here
CEC?
for it.
Sounds cool.
But we did get a little bit of a explanation as to why Mox. Well, actually, no, we got a full explanation as to why Mox has been calling out Darby. We thought it was like some kind of respect thing. No, he literally wants Darby's title shot against B-Dry.
Yeah. That's it. He's all right. So you're going to give up your shot, right? And it's like, what the fuck? Is that what you wanted?
Again, Darby isn't the strongest on the mic.
No.
But it was an okay segment, and Mox just looks like a serial killer. I love Mox as a heel because he just looks dangerous, which is exactly the character he portrays. So now we're going to get Darby and Mox at Grand Slam.
Love it.
But aside from this, huge news for the old school Ring of Honor fans. We're getting Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness one last time.
Yes.
I think that's something that everybody's excited for.
Yeah, I love how familiar the AEW audience is with Nigel McGuinness, and he keeps getting these big pops because they're hardcore fans. They know Nigel's background.
Yep. That's the beauty of it.
Getting the respect he deserves. So I'm sure it'll be a fucking banger between him and B-Dry.
Absolutely. I mean, well, hell, Bill, you were in the stadium too at the time at Wembley when Nigel was at the thing. Do you know the
surprise thing? The walls shook.
Right.
Oh,
so
crazy.
So how do you give me something? How excited are you for this one? Because I mean, this has been what fucking 10 plus years in the making.
Yeah, I mean, it was super exciting to see him walk on that stage wearing wrestling gear again because it was so unexpected. And like, we know he's not going to win the title from Bryan, but we know it's going to be a hell of a match. So, you know, if this is like, I don't know if he's going to come back wrestling all the time. So if this is like just like one match and then back to commentary, then what a way to do it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Love it. What are your thoughts on that, Beer? Give me something.
Yeah, you hijacked my show. Give me something.
It was actually it was a troll account. Someone put that Ricky Starks' contract up with AEW, but it's a troll account. So
of course, bastards.
Well, anyway, I think Mariah May's next feud will be Mina Shirakawa. She literally called her out after a match on Dynamite last night.
I'm hoping so, but at the same time, I'm also kind of hoping that she's just going to come in and they're going to embrace and just be hot.
But I just get the feeling Mina's disappointed in Mariah, even though she didn't exactly get along with Toni Storm.
This is true.
It is a big one.
It is a big one.
It is a big one. Who should end Mariah's title reign?
Jamie Hayter.
I don't think it should be Toni. I don't think it should be Toni.
Well, I mean, she hasn't been seen since All In. So that's huge.
I still think there should be another 2 matches with them two. But I can't see Toni being the one to take the title. I think
it'll be Jamie.
His favorite, Mercedes Moné.
Oh, fuck her.
I can't. Again, I can't. She makes more money than fucking half the guys in the championship league. I can't do it.
Okada is just the best, and
he really is.
His confrontation. I'm a little bit freaked out with Don Callis because he was acting very like babyfish, babyface-ish
Babyfish.
last night. He's a babyfish.
Hey.
I'm not used to seeing Don Callis like not be a prick, but last night he was stepping up to all the heels and like, hey, take on my guys. I'm like, wait a minute, we're not supposed to like you or your guys, even though you got
Right.
Osprey in your group.
I had that weird feeling too. Okay, so I'm glad I wasn't the only one that got that weird feeling. I was like, I was supposed to not like you. Kind of
Yeah,
like
you're,
you right
you're supposed to be an evil prick. But yeah, we got the face off between Okada and Takeshita, and I was just waiting for it when Okada said, you know, he's going to be a champion, just not the Continental Champion. Walks away, and I'm literally there waiting. He's going to come back. He's going to come back and say the line, bitch.
Yep. Perfectly. Because Okada is
No.
the fucking man.
He is the king of saying bitch, and I didn't think that was a thing
Well, not
until
only that,
Okada came
his
to
fucking-
AEW.
His goddamn Oscar-winning performance as he walks up and he's like, yes, Renee, I won the title, and it's one of the greatest moments of my life. I was like, I'm dead. Love this man.
Yes,
Okada is everything. Y'all don't get it. I'm telling y'all. Y'all don't, like the motherfuckers out there that are still trying to give this cat shit. You don't understand, bro. That this cat is fully fucking vented, yet still somehow is the same Okada, and it's fucking glorious.
Yes, bitch.
Hey,
And also, him and Takeshita one-on-one is going to tear the house down. And I expect Takeshita to win the title.
yes, he's got to be the guy to dethrone him. Again, I want it to be as fucking drug out as possible. Have people get involved multiple times and force them, or have an interference, or have a time limit draw than an interference, or vice versa. But extend this, give them more than one match. I'm telling you, this will be the American version of the Omega Okada. This Takeshita Okada will go down in infamy.
Yeah. And speaking of infamy, Hangman has become public enemy number one in AEW. Just that walk backstage, everybody looking down at him.
There was like 3 pictures that went online right after the show ended, and I swear to God, they gave you just murder feel. Like, if you ever watch you ever watch horror movies, and they're like, this is based on a true story, and then you see pictures of the killer, that fucking was the killer right there. Watch out for that motherfucker.
Him bumping into the Dark Order was beautiful.
He's like, man, we don't even know you. Great.
But the funny thing was, when Jeff Jarrett got in his face, and obviously he attacked Jarrett, threw him into the chairs and everything, Dark Order was stood right next to that stack of chairs. And then the camera spun around to show Dark Order, and they are literally standing there just looking at Jarrett like, shit. You're not going to do anything?
Fuck no.
You could have stopped him.
Jeff Jarrett was sitting there rambling. I would have thrown his ass into the chairs too. I was like, bro, I just want to go. And he's just fucking going on and going on and go. Yeah, I would have thrown his ass too.
Yeah, that I got what Jarrett was saying, but it was kind of long-winded to be like a you should be ashamed of yourself type of promo.
Right.
You're like, when you look in the mirror, that's your biggest opponent. Like, shut up, man.
And that's exactly.
Get on with it.
You could have literally said that line and had this whole thing, and it would have been like, okay, he's a hothead. You know what I mean? But no, like, you fucking drug it out. My family's been in business for generations. Like, bro, I don't care. We don't care.
It was literally a WWE 2K career mode cutscene when you bump into an old legend backstage.
Yep, and they gave you their fucking life story.
I'm a third generation wrestler.
My daddy owned a promote. Okay, shut up, Jeff.
Yeah,
Wait.
It was like that Cody Rhodes scene in one of the old Smackdowns. Dusty Rhodes was my father.
Yep.
Jeff Jarrett. Jerry
see
Jarrett
it
was
now.
my father.
Don't
Oh,
Christian
God.
Cage that wherever you do.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, stay away from Christian Cage.
Yeah. stay away from-
I mean, he is the best father in the world, but
Except mine. My dad's the best.
I don't know when we're gonna get Christian cashing in his contract. But I don't think we're gonna get Swerve and Bryan at Wrestle Dream now. So I think Swerve and Bryan is actually done. Somebody else is gonna retire B-Dry, and you know what? Fuck it. It might be Hangman.
Christian Cage.
Hold on. I don't think it's gonna be Christian. So it's gonna be Darby versus Mox to see who wins this to go on to Wrestle. I want to say it's Wrestle Dream, which is in Tacoma, Washington.
Yeah,
I
next month.
think it's gonna be Darby. Darby, you know, the guy that, you know, the face of AEW or whatever, you know, the Sting of AEW. He goes on and beats B-Dry, probably with assistance, or maybe, maybe from Mox or whatever the fuck, who knows. But, you know, with assistance, without assistance, I think he beats him, and then that's when we get the cash in. Like right after that, it's like, oh, great moment. Oh, he won it in Washington. Hometown. Oh, you son of a bitch. Your dad's dead. And he depends upon that. Your dad died in a car accident.
I've seen rumors that they might make Darby a world champion soon. I just think it would be great for Hangman to retire Bryan Danielson.
I think so. He's giving me the Stan Hansen vibes, something fierce, and I love it. And I think that maybe, he could be the guy that just brutalizes the hell. He could be the Brock Lesnar-ish, the brutalizer. He could be that dude that takes Bryan out. You know what I mean? Bryan has to go away now. Not because he got, not because he lost the title, because he can't fucking walk anymore because Hangman beat the shit out of him. You know?
Yeah.
I think that would be a great story, too.
And the heat on Hangman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Nuclear.
Somebody called him the main character of AEW, and it's difficult to argue with that.
Not wrong.
Sounds good, actually, the main character of AEW.
Sounds evil.
It's not you, Mercedes. Shut the fuck up.
No, it's not.
Good old Mercedes.
Daz, I see you, and I hear you. At max 500, it will be the beginning of the captain versus the mercenary. Chapter 4.
All right, well, I guess that makes it official. Chris is responding for the second time. So it goes to a luck of the draws rules match next week's at max 500 for the dual championship.
It's going down next week. It's going down twice for me. And yes, next week is our 500th episode. Comes your way on September 19th. And as well as that new dual title match. The Knowledge Championship is also on the line in a classic rivalry as the 7-time champion, the Phoenix, defends against the original champion 8 years ago, Kenny Killer. Go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com/500 for more information.
You know what 500 we need to do? We need to go retro for 500. And ain't nobody know retro better than the retro guy over here, Retro Rewind, all that fun stuff. Maybe, just maybe, I'd go retro for 500.
I mean, it's hard to argue, King of Retro.
Hey.
Let's put that on a t-shirt, King of Retro, in nice fucking neon pink.
Fucking ain't right. King of Retro.
When I saw this clip, I was furious. I mean, what had you even done to earn the title of Retro King? So I called you out immediately, so I could expose you as the fraud that you were. And I made sure everybody knew exactly who I was. I was very clear about my identity. I didn't lie or leave anything to mystery. And I thought to myself, you know who the true Retro King is. Upon reflection, you'll be able to figure it out. It's not you, it's me. I mean, all you have to do is take a look at the 2 most important letters in Max Wrestling history, and you'll know exactly who the Retro King is. But what I forgot is that you are a fucking clown. And so, of course, you and no one else was smart enough to put it together. So allow me to help you out a little bit. When it comes to who the Retro King is and the 2 most important letters in Max Wrestling history, look in the mirror, look at the reflection and see it's A-T. What you've done, Moses Marquez, is awaken a beast. You woke up the true King of Retro. And I'm here to make that clear. And I'm here to stomp you out. So there's only one thing left to say.
Let me tell you something, bitch. At Max Wrestling 500, I'm challenging you to a retro showdown to prove who the real Retro King is. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Moses Marquez, El Jefe. So let me ask you one question. What you gonna do, brother, when AT Wrestler runs wild on you? Yeah.
exactly what I wanted to happen happened. Max 500 is going to go retro to the fullest of the degree because I single-handedly brought that, whatever you want to call him, that poured out loser in a leather jacket called AT Wrestler, to what we call the retro style promo. So if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. And we'll just see just how retro the Retro King will be at Max 500.
I'm so excited to see AT Wrestler back.
A part of me is excited, but I'm also very excited to completely destroy him. How are you going to give me some shit? Tell me I'm not the Retro King, the Retro Rewind, motherfucker.
So that's who's been spamming the Max Wrestling group all week, claiming to be anonymous, claiming to be, well, teasing to be Travis Anderson, among other people.
Yeah, that
but it was very clever. You switched the initials around, you got AT.
Hey.
Very good. But it's double duty for me and double duty for both of these guys as they challenge Cypher in a handicap promo bout for the Max Tag Team Championships due to Travis's absence. Sorry.
No, the hands are shaking because the titles are coming back home. It's in the bag, as they say. And finally, in the main event, perhaps the most storied rivalry of the year, which dates all the way back to January. It reaches its climax as the captain defends his ill-gotten Max Wrestling World Championship against my man, my tag team partner, Beer.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
We made it, bitches. Go to maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com/500 for more information. It comes your way next week. Do not miss this landmark episode of Max Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, 500, baby.
Now, let's name some bellends. It's time for the bellend board.
Kevin Nash, get your pen ready.
A bellend, you're a bellend, mate. Look, bellend 1, bellend 2, big veiny bellend over here.
I got a feeling that the board this week is going to tear one of Kevin Nash's quads. So let's get to it.
Hey, well, I mean, come on now. You're going to give a guy shit over being part-time and making more money. Let's be real here. If we're going to be the smarter fellas, the smarks, if you will, the amount of money that motherfucker made in the 90s is equivalent to what Logan Paul makes now. You're the same thing. To do because you're mad because... Go ahead, Beer. I'm bad.
Dude made mega money in WCW for doing less days as well, so it's a bit hypocritical of him.
Beyond hypocritical. Kevin Nash was making $2 million a year. $2 million in 1998. I don't remember fucking baseball players making kind of money like that. Okay.
Let me do an inflation calculation. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice rhyme.
That's a beautiful rhyme. I love that. But it's beyond hypocritical. And then it got to the point where he's talking about in his, I want to say it was a tweet, right?
Yeah. Well, it was on his podcast.
Oh, on his podcast. But he goes on to talk about, oh, well, you know, guys are doing house shows and guys are doing this and guys are, motherfucker, you didn't do no house shows?
So what year was it he was on 2 million?
I want to 98.
98. Oh, fuck. So that is roughly just under 4 million in today's money.
Okay, so then again, let's add the little creative bonus that this guy is a celebrity. So then again, we're nitpicking, fam. We're nitpicking. Is that what we're doing over here? I'm trying to make it the point ski, but the reality is you shit talk everybody, dudes, for not being big enough. You shit talk guys for being part-timers or making too much money. You shit talk guys for wanting to be on the hardcore side. You're just mad that and Logan said it perfectly, that you can't do this anymore. That he is half your fucking age, has a fucking eighth of the experience, and makes more money than you, and is way more entertaining than you were.
Yo.
You know what? I actually believe Logan Paul saying he doesn't know who Kevin Nash is, because if he did, he probably would have made some quad references, because Nash spent half of his career tearing his fucking quads.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a meme.
It truly is.
The guy spent more time in hospital than a lot of doctors.
I love that.
I'd like to add one to the bell end board myself. And no,
Please.
this is not you.
Shocker.
Kate's from Fightful. Did you see it tweet?
No, but I will
Oh.
always welcome Bell End points for somebody from Fightful.
All day
Because they're
long.
Fightful as shit.
The tweet was, are you doing Mercedes' dance or are you a piece of shit? I am more than happy to be a piece of shit. More than delighted to be a piece of shit.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking absolute clown.
Mercedes Monet's dance is the cringiest shit on wrestling, and I am so grateful that this shit hasn't made it to TikTok, because it would be even more annoying if kids were going around doing this that don't even watch wrestling.
Why did you do that? You just put it in the atmosphere. It's gonna be a fucking trend. I swear to God. I swear to God.
Send it to the internet.
Please do not let me catch you on TikTok doing the Mercedes. You will get roasted. You will. Oh my goodness.
How many points for Kate from Fightful of Shit?
Give as much as possible. I can't stand her. She hates CM Punk. She always has anything to diss CM Punk. I'm thinking...
Sounds like a 20 piece.
20 minimum.
100.
If we give her 100 points, then she's in the same boat as Donald Trump, Eric Bischoff, and Vince's sex ring.
No, that may not be Vince.
I was gonna say, we're up there, man.
You know what?
Got some motherfuckers up there.
Let's put her in the same boat as Ryback and give her 30.
There we go. That's a good move.
How
with you?
How many points are we adding to Kevin Nash's bill?
Oh, he needs an easy 10.
Okay, that puts him in the same boat then. He's on 30 now too.
Hey, climbing with him. I'm telling you, they're climbing.
Anybody else been a dipshit this week? I don't actually think there has been. It's just really Kevin Nash who's been talking shit.
I was going to say Kevin Nash was really the only one talking shit. There wasn't too much negativity on the actual craziness that was all out. People just either didn't watch it, or the ones that did were like, great, I liked it. So it was one of those where we actually don't have too much negativity, which is, I'm shocked. I even looked on TikTok this week trying to figure out if anybody, nobody was talking shit.
Let's give 20 points to that dumbass who was trying to save cure world hunger by canceling AEW.
I'm 50-50 on one to Mr. Matt Riddle. Claims his chances of going back to WWE is extremely high. I'm thinking, you must have been very high by saying that comment.
When is he not? When is he not?
Point. Fact.
My man is always elevated.
Yeah.
So good, but to his career way.
Yeah, Matt Riddle fucked up. Let's give him 10 points.
Fucking man. It's not happening, man. You are not coming back.
Got about as well. Actually, no. He's probably got more chance than Alberto, but fuck Alberto.
Hey.
All right. Let's switch it up and put some points on the bruv board. Bruv. Immediately, and again, never thought I was going to do this, but I'm going to give 10 or 20. You know what? It's early days, so 10 points to Marina Shafir for actually making herself watchable.
Good moves. Good job, man. Good job. Good job there, John. You're making a star out of somebody we thought was done for.
I'd say 10 points to Julia for a very successful NXT debut.
There we go.
Yeah.
Very successful NXT debut.
I mean, the ring attire was very Asuka, so I had to do a double take, but still.
Very Asuka.
When the fuck did she go? Oh, it's Julia.
Definitely got to give 10 to Logan for that comeback to Kevin Nash.
Oh, for burying Kevin Nash, Logan gets 20 points.
Hey, attaboy.
Is Logan already on the board? I'm not sure if he is.
Well, then, hey, welcome a bud. Or welcome a bruv, I should say.
Oh, no. Put it alphabetically so I can see properly. There you go. No, Logan's not on the board. Now he is.
Hey.
20 points to Logan Paul. There was somebody else. Mox was great, but you know what? just for that fucking chair shot, let's give 20 points to Swerve.
Oh,
You know, I know like chair shots to the head are kind of frowned upon, but you know it's violent when AEW immediately cut away from a fucking chair shot to the head. The way they shot that chair shot was beautiful.
Brilliant.
I think
All
10
the
points
above.
each for Pete Dunne and Trick Williams for that Russian leg sweep up the top of the stage.
Oh no, that was
nuts.
bananas.
Oh.
Never seen a Russian leg sweep used so beautifully.
Oh, Pete Dunne is just a fucking prince in the ring.
Guy needs more love, he does.
Oh yeah, Pete Dunne deserves more love. More love, more respect.
And I think we're pretty much out of points.
Sounds good here.
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Well then, that's it for episode 499. Thank you for joining us. I hope we rocked you harder than the damage I'm going to do to Beer next week. Before we close this up, let's find out what Host Mo and the TSK have for you Pencil Neck Geeks this week. Actually, you know what? We're going to have to rename this segment because it's the same name as Kevin Nash's podcast, but click this.
We definitely need to do a name change. We'll figure it out at a different time. But yeah, no. So tomorrow actually is going to drop what I'm calling the Shake It All About special, as we made the fun joke last week, where it's going to be the All In from London and All Out reviews, both from the TSK. Those will drop simultaneously, back-to-back episodes. So enjoy that for your Fridays. Other than that, it's being edited as we speak. There will be an episode that drops Saturday, and the return of the Max Football Pod solo version is back. It's official. Mauricio Pochettino has been named the manager of the United States men's national team, and after fucking drawing to New Zealand 0-0 in a friendly, good God, we need all the fucking help we can get. So I am going on a rant, or I went on a rant, I should say, and it's going to be a fun one. I'm going to break down probably what he's going to bring to the team, how he's going to change it up, and some fucking massively young stars that desperately need the fucking minutes before we get to 2026 and the World Cup. Other than that, I'm going to try to bring these gentlemen on at some point. Got to get Beer, Chad, and Nicola on. Got to get the whole pod back together. We got it just because we're 3 weeks in. The international break is over, and the everything is hot and heavy right now in the Prem. And Sunday is it's North London Derby. So come on, you Spurs. But other than that, you guys got to hit all the fun socials. Find us on the Evil X Machine Twitter if you fancy. Max Wrestling UK, Captain 512, SMR Podnet, and Max Football Pod, because we're getting back on that one. Follow us on the beautifully done website, maxwrestlingnet.weebly.com. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button, follow button, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the socials. I say it every week, but I'm telling you, this is how Chris Reed became EVP, MVP, and then dual champion. You can follow those footsteps. All you got to do is participate.
And I thought Travis was impossible to dethrone. Chris is just on another level.
Yeah, seriously.
We don't even bother looking. We don't even bother looking at the MVP or EVP anymore because there's just no stopping Chris.
Good
but
luck, folks.
That's it for this week. That is it for the first 499 episodes. Next week is our 500th episode. Do not miss it. There is so much going down. And of course, it's the end of one era, the beginning of one era. So be there. And maybe you can get a T-shirt to say I was there.
Hey.
You've been watching the Cap and Mo, and for some reason, Beer. Goodbye. Mwah. And we'll see you next week. Good night. Mwah. Bang.
Goodbye.
Can you dig it?
I'm gonna beat you.
What's that? Invitation to your house?
Bring it on. The door's always open.
Last month, over 20 years of friendship came to an end. Last month, 8 months of torment came to an end. next week, beer, you come to an end. All of this comes to an end. Almost 23 years to the week that you and I first met. Now you may notice I don't have the World Championship with me right now because this isn't about the World Championship. Not really. This was never about the World Championship. I only have it now because you won it. This has always been about you wanting things you haven't earned. But next week, believe me, you have earned everything that I'm going to give you. Max 500. It all comes to an end. Game over.